Hey everybody, it's Katie. Hope you're having a good day. I am here to report back on the results of our no spend month from February as we are creeping into March quickly. So I wish I could come back and just report like resounding success, but as always, I'm going to be honest. I will say that we did really well for 3 weeks, which isn't that awesome because February only has 4 weeks. So like I said, I wish I could say like, yes, we did it. It was amazing. But we lasted 3 weeks. And at the 3-week point, there were like some life changes that happened that kind of, I don't know, just sort of took the wind out of our sails, I guess, on our motivation to do this challenge. First, I want to tell you about, so we were going pretty strong for those, like, at least for 2 weeks. Like we're really strong out of the gate, and there were like a few little stumbling blocks that came up, and I think we like worked around them kind of pretty creatively, so I wanted to share that. So the first thing is Alice, like one of her close friends, was having a birthday, and I wasn't sure of exactly the date. I thought it was in February, but we hadn't gotten like an invitation to a party or anything. At the last minute, like we get invited to kind of celebrate her birthday. And so it didn't have any kind of gift, and what we ended up doing was the kids and I made Play-Doh. We made a couple different colors of like homemade Play-Doh, worked on it together. Mainly Alice got to decide like what color to make it. They put in glitter. We put in different like essential oils to make it scented. So, and then we packaged it kind of nicely, just all using stuff that we had on hand. So we gave her 2 different colors of like sparkly Play-Doh, her favorite colors. And then we gave her, she's very into like arts and crafts. So we also gave her these shimmery oil pastels that I had picked up and kind of kept on hand for my kids, like for their Easter basket or something like that. So we were happy to pass those on, knowing like she would really like those. So we came up with a nice gift kind of in a pinch. Mike and I had a date night. So my parents, the kids went to sleep over at my parents' house kind of fairly unexpectedly. And so we had a day where like normally we would have really liked to, go out for dinner or something like that. But we ended up doing instead is we took a little hike around the lake. We browsed at a bookstore. And then we cooked dinner at home, and we made like fettuccine alfredo because it's something our kids won't eat. So we kind of cooked together and just had a nice meal ourselves and had like a picnic in the living room, and we had a really good time. The last thing is that we realized right before the kids were supposed to start swimming lessons that Mike had lost his swim trunks sometime over the summer when we've torn up the house several occasions, and somehow we forgot about this until right before the swimming lesson. So the first swimming lesson I did with the kids, like I got in the pool with August, but we had an agreement that Mike was going to be the one to get in the pool for these lessons. So yeah, he needed to come up with swim trunks. Like you can't wear just any shorts. They won't let you in the pool that way. So even without my prompting, like I was like, go to Target, get yourself some swim trunks. But even without my prompting on his lunch break, he went to a thrift store and he found a pair that he really loves that were his size and stuff for $1.99. So I think that was a pretty good compromise. Let's see, we did compromise on a few other things during the month too. Mike needed to do dry cleaning for clothes for work. I felt like that was an acceptable sort of necessity. We went to sort of a family reunion, sort of extended family friends. We went to a fish fry like at a local church, so sort of a fundraiser for the church and stuff, but it was a way to see people that we don't see very often, and one of them is very special to all of us, and she is well into her 80s, and I didn't feel like, we could reschedule this. You never know how much time you have with people, so I just felt like this was one of those memory-making opportunities that we needed to do. So we spent a minimal amount of money for dinner for everybody to see these friends. We also ended up buying a ticket for my mom to come to the botanical gardens with us because we thought she would get in on her membership, and then they wouldn't allow that. So we paid a tiny bit of money, I guess, for her to come in with us. We weren't going to like turn around at that point. It was like a thank you for babysitting and stuff. So we weren't going to be like, never mind, we can't go because it's $11. So yeah. So what happened at the 3-week mark that kind of changed everything? Mike got a new job, but it's in academia. It's something that he wants to do. It's a good opportunity for him, but it is going to be a temporary job. So as soon as we had embraced like our goal of, trying really hard to save up for a down payment and hopefully buy a house this summer, now like that kind of totally changed the game, and we feel like this isn't a good time. When you're in a temporary job is not a good time to make long-term commitments. So, so that puts us off that goal. Granted, like, I guess if we were stronger people, we would have continued on and like, been thinking really long term, which we still are to some degree, but, we could have continued on with the no spending, but I don't know, that just kind of sapped our motivation. It's a positive thing for right now, but it's just, you know, it does. It changes things for us. So instead, we ended up like celebrating. There was this jazz show that Mike really wanted to go to that, again, like the money was going to charity, so we sort of justified it, but it was also kind of celebrating, kind of splurging. And we ended up like, yeah, we went to brunch the next morning too, just ourselves at a favorite restaurant because, again, kind of celebrating for Mike, and, you know, at that point, whatever, we just kind of let go. So I was very good on like the groceries and stuff. We didn't do any other shopping. Starting off the month, I had been like really excited about all these things to do with the kids, like our normal things, which are pretty much free to do, but just coming up with like other activities and, you know, thinking, what if there's something we really want to do, but there's an admission charge or something like that. And in fact, that didn't turn out to be too much of an issue. We were able to tick off a couple things on our sort of wintry bucket list, and like going to a new playground, going to a new library branch, things that we wanted to do anyway. And we did a lot more like hiking and things like that outdoors. We built lots of snowmen, played in the snow, went sledding. We invited like friends and family members over to kind of, you know, avoid the temptation of going somewhere and wanting to spend money. Something I found kind of personally tempting was I kept finding myself like wanting to take the kids out for treats. And that's not something we normally do, but I think because I wasn't supposed to do it, it made me want to, you know? So I would find myself being like, oh, I just wish I could, on the way back from the grocery store, like stop and get a cupcake with the kids somewhere. Wouldn't that be nice? And like, we really don't do that kind of stuff. So of course, like the workaround is we made a lot of treats at home. We baked things. We, you know, made special stuff like that together. So all told, yes, at the end of the month, we did have a few $100s more than usual. It was nice to not see our bank account balance kind of like be chipped away during the month quite as much, you know. There weren't as many deductions. So that, you know, that's positive. Yes, we have like some extra savings going forward. Wish it could have been a little bit better. But then again, I don't know. I do feel like the experience, I think, yes, it's a healthy exercise. Yes, of course, it would get us to our goals faster. And even though our goal is, you know, pushed off a bit now, of course, we want to keep working towards it. And the faster we do that, like the better it's going to be. So yes, like we should keep ourselves moving toward that quickly. But I just feel like right now for us, it's doing this challenge, thinking about doing the challenge like into next month or something. It's just a little bit too much stress. Like we do have some kind of extra stresses on us right now. And that's just adding, you know, an extra level that I feel like is just a little bit unnecessary. So I don't know. Those are my final thoughts. I know some of you out there were also doing a no spend month in February, and I'd love to know how it turned out. Hopefully you were much more committed than I was. Hopefully you have some success stories to share. I'm going to keep this experience in the back of my mind, and if we get to a point where it feels like this would be a good tool for us to like pull out again, I will definitely, you know, I'm game for trying it again, maybe being a little bit better. So I don't know, thumbs up for trying, I guess. And thanks for watching. Take care.